Hi, my name's Alan Kemper, and I am the owner of Lead Advisors. And what I want to talk to you today about is the opportunity to be an advisor on our team. So there's really two questions that I need for you to be able to answer if you're considering being an advisor for Lead. One is, are you a people developer? People who are going to succeed as advisors in our consulting firm are people who have a demonstrated path of being able to take people and move them from one place to another. Oftentimes we find these people in counseling backgrounds and education backgrounds and ministry backgrounds. These are people who are very clear that a part of their purpose on the planet is to help people progress and advance in their own lives. The other question I'm asking is, are you in a place in your life where you're looking for some degree of professional growth? Are you looking for stretching? Are you looking for an opportunity to convert your craft, the thing that you do, into cash more effectively at this stage in your life? You may be looking for a way to add some more income to a role that you're already playing where you're very fulfilled and satisfied. But a common element of people who are going to be successful is that they are actively looking for a new chapter in their professional life. So what is it that Lead does? There are lots of consulting companies out there. Primarily, Lead is a human capital consulting company. Every company has products, every company has process, and every company has people. What we do is we focus on the people. We do that through two primary products or services. One is executive coaching. So executive coaching is really a time when we sit down with business leaders and we engage with them in a one-on-one environment, and we work to identify what it is that they want to try to accomplish. We do this through a series of questions, extracting, pulling from them, and then helping to identify a desired state, and then making sure that the behaviors that they're exhibiting over the courses of weeks and months is directionally correct. So that's a lot of the work that we do in executive coaching. The other work that we do is in management training, and this is working to equip people with the human skills that they need to be able to win as a manager or a leader within the organization. This is oftentimes done in the front of a room, and though it is more content driven than executive coaching, our flavor of management training is very dialogue, not monologue. So we want to be conversational in this process to make sure that the content is relevant and applicable and even discussed and played out in the room in real time with these managers to make sure that it is relevant and meaningful. The two primary things that we do in terms of services, executive coaching and management training. So as an advisor, what is it that makes you a good fit for us? This is an opportunity for you to hear a little bit about some of our current advisors, what their backgrounds were prior to becoming an executive coach.
For 4 decades, I have been in nonprofit, very specifically full-time church ministry.
So my background kind of started in ministry. I worked in the church for about 16 years, kind of doing all the different positions from youth pastor to worship pastor to executive pastor to lead pastor to church planter to elder.
For a number of years, recruiting and training and developing sales teams. Then all along during that period of time, I was also got involved in real estate, owned a construction company, and then retired from that and came out of retirement to be involved with Lead Advisors.
When it comes to people development, most of my background is in church ministry, so pastoral ministry and working with individuals there. I've got a PhD in leadership as well, and so kind of combine those two things to help people out.
Okay, so let me give you a little bit of an overview of Lead as an executive coaching firm. Over the years, we've developed a lot of assessments and a lot of frameworks for how we do coaching and how we do management training. But one of the core elements of who we are as an organization is built around this idea of the Four Fires philosophy. And here's the short version of this coaching philosophy. It is that there are 4 primary elements to a healthy life. And we call it the 4 fires because every morning, a person, your client, all of us, we wake up with an armful of logs. These logs are the time and the energy and the resources that we have to allocate to the 4 fires of our lives. The first fire that we spend time on with our clients is the professional fire. So we say that the professional fire is made up of your craft. This is what you're specifically good at. It's not your job title. It is your unique gifting to the planet. And then it is your ability to convert that craft into cash. So that's your professional fire. And we spend time with our clients helping them think about how they do that more effectively. But then there are these other fires, the next of which is the people fire. So life is about relationships. We say that your people fire is made up of your friends and your family. And this is ensuring that our clients are doing the work necessary to make sure that they have healthy marriages, that they have healthy relationships with their children, and that they have active, engaged friendships. The next fire that we talk about is your physical fire. So every one of our clients all have bodies. We all have to manage these bodies that we live in. We can't control disease, we can't control accidents, but what we can control is how we eat and how we exercise. And so we help our clients learn how to pull the levers of the physical fire so that they can design the body that they want. The physical fire is not about appearance, but it is about ability. It is about being able to train and grow and develop your body in a way that allows you to live the life that you want to live. Finally, the last fire that we coach in is what we call the purpose fire. And this is really where we differentiate ourselves, is that we are going to specifically lean in and ask about the health of people's souls. We start this conversation with asking them, do they think that they have a soul? And if they do, then we need to ask a couple more questions. One is, do they think that that soul has a creator? Is that eternal element of them, did it come from somewhere? If they think they have a soul and they think they have a creator, then the 2 questions that we need to know the answer to is there, in their minds, is there any relational expectation between their creator themselves, their soul? Meaning, does their creator want to be in relationship with them? Or did their creator just create their soul and spin it off into the cosmos? Most of our clients will nod and say, yes, I think I have a soul. I think that soul has a creator. And I think that there's some kind of relational expectation between me and my creator. The last question that we need for them to be able to answer, and most of them can do this intuitively, is, do you think there are any behavioral expectations between you and your creator? Meaning, does your creator care about the choices that you make while you're on this planet? That's essentially what the purpose fire is built around. And so the 4 fires is a philosophy for life based around living intentionally. It is about helping other people around us make choices in each of those fires that allows them to win at life. Because our observation has been that winning in any 1 or 2 of these fires does not lead to a happy and successful life. It really does require effort and energy and intention in all 4 of these areas. So we as coaches, 1, have to choose to live into this 4 fire philosophy ourselves so that we can help be guides to people as they are on their own journey. If you want to get a taste of some of our clients, that will give you an overview of the kind of work that we do and the kind of results that our clients experience. What a lot of our coaches ask when they're coming in is, am I going to be able to do this?
For me, it was definitely not having a business background. So whenever I think of executive coaching, I think of somebody that has to be some kind of business wizard that knows how to, secure investments and do things with economics and speak all these business terms, EBITDA, and all these things that I didn't know a lot of things about. Kemper did a great job of just helping prepare me first and foremost with a lot of the support that kind of the office staff provides and that LEAD as an organization provides, that I don't have to be the expert in that area. But at the same time, also he did a great job of helping me understand that our value wasn't just on being business experts, it was on being people
I've
experts.
always been involved in coaching and people development, so it might have been a little bit different from some people, but my biggest concern was that I be able to represent the company well, represent my associates with the company well, and that I not miss something really important for my clients.
One of the things that we believe strongly is that you can't share what you don't have, and that we are a human capital company and we work very hard to practice what we preach. We want to be a healthy organization internally so that we can share that gift with our clients as we try to help them build healthy organizations and healthy leaders. So internally, one of our core principles is that we are going to be known as a Christian organization. We say that internally we will pray together, we will fast together, but externally we will be known by our fruit. So that's one of our key cultural pillars. Secondly, we are going to be the people who are not afraid to do the messy work of people development. We know that people development is slow, it's hard, it's messy, but ultimately at LEAD, what we believe is that it's worth it. And so we are going to be the kinds of consultants who aren't just going to walk in, write a report, present a PowerPoint deck, and walk out the door. We are going to walk alongside of our clients as they grow and as we help them grow their emerging managers and leaders. We are in it with them in the good and in the bad. And then internally, we have a couple of core values that we like to stick to. And those are simply that we are going to be light, that there's a presence about who we people. When they leave an interaction with us, they feel uplifted, they feel better, that we are an organization that believes in excellence. We are going to deliver the highest level. It's a demonstration of who we are professionally, and it is a honoring of who our clients are. We're ultimately going to be an organization of authentic people. All of us are on our own journey, and none of us are there yet. And so we are going to be humble and authentic in the way that we interact with our clients and in the way that we interact with each other. And finally, we are going to be developers. A part of our identity is that we grow personally and that we help other people grow. So those are core pillars of who LEAD is, and we are driven as an organization by who we are more than we're driven by what we do. We think that we're a little bit different. We think that working with LEAD is something that should be viewed as a gift. Nobody is here because they were coerced or because they were forced. This is a group of people who are here by choice. Some of us are on the early stages of our coaching and advising journey. Some of us are many, many years in. But in any case, we are all here because we believe that the professional work that we're doing is a part of a calling. It's an external expression of who we are wired to be. And so here's an opportunity for you to hear from some of our advisors what they think is different about working for LEAD.
You know, I have been involved in a number of different companies and business ventures over the years, and I think the biggest thing about LEAD is that everybody involved with the company is here for a purpose. It's not just a job for anybody that I've met with this company. Everybody here is committed to the things that the company is committed to each other, and to really making an impact.
For me, about working for LEAD is we are in the business of helping push, challenge, and grow people. And in order to do that, there's a culture behind the scenes where we are continually pushed, challenged, and encouraged to grow. And so just the personal development that I've experienced has been really huge. Difference for me about working.
So let me see if I can encapsulate what are the benefits to being an advisor with LEAD. Number one is pay well above the market hourly rate for doing work that you are uniquely qualified to do. Number 2, it's what we call silver platter work. You don't have to do the sales. We're going to do all of the sales and hand you work to do. Number 3, all of the administrative work is done for you. Number 4, you get to be in community with a set of advisors who have years and years of experience and can help you navigate difficult situations with clients and with the teams that you're serving. Number 5, we've built out a bunch of content and a bunch of frameworks for you to coach from so that you're not under the gun every week trying to figure out what it is that you're going to talk about. We've got tools and tips and tricks for how to most effectively guide conversations so that you can go deep, fast, and have the most amount of impact with your client. Finally, this is an opportunity for you to convert your craft into cash. It's an opportunity for you to be significant with the work that you're doing and be able to provide for your family at a very high level. And obviously, the work that we do is very fulfilling. We have a chance to step into spaces with clients that very rarely they expose to anyone else. We hear their wins, we hear their losses, and it's a special honor to be able to walk with people in places where they share their finances for their business with us. They share their struggles in their marriage with us. They share their spiritual hardships or reservations. We're oftentimes looking at what the client's weight and body fat percentage are. We are intimately connected to these people and oftentimes become the person in their life who knows the most about them outside maybe their spouse. And so that is a kind of work that takes a unique person, is able to both challenge and be kind and considerate with that kind of information. But here's a chance for you to hear a little bit more from some of our advisors on what the highlights of their experiences have been.
One of my first clients talked about the impact early on in the client relationship, the impact that I'd had on his marriage. That made me feel very fulfilled and good about it. And then any time that I spend time with the client and they thank me for that time and maybe tell me that they really look forward to it. So yeah, I'd say those moments are...
One of my favorite moments in coaching is I ran into someone this morning at the gym, and he came up to me and we started talking, and he was just saying how thankful he was for the leadership training that I'd done with him and kind of the impact it has, and that he was still using it. So it was pretty encouraging. I think for any teacher, that moment that the light bulb goes off in the student's head is pretty neat. And for coaches, it's really that they have a passion, they have a desire, and then all of a sudden you're kind of throwing some gasoline on the fire.
So if this is something that's interesting to you, we've developed a system for how we train advisors. Number one, there's a couple of things that you need to do to lean in. We need for you to show us that you not only agree with the Four Fires philosophy in your head, but that you believe in it enough to do the work to live into it. That happens through a program called the 30-Day Ruck. The 30-Day Ruck is a challenge to live four-dimensionally for 30 days. It's going to push you through a series of abstentions, things that you have to put down, and a series of activities, things that you have to engage in each of the four fires, so that you can demonstrate that not only do you have the desire, but you have the ability to live and teach this kind of lifestyle. After you complete a level 3 ruck successfully, we'll have a clarification call. The call essentially is a checking in to see, did your ruck go? Did you enjoy your experiences? Did it resonate with you? And is this something that you believe in enough to be able to teach? It's also going to be a time where we evaluate if you're a good culture fit for who we are. If those two things are true, if you were able to successfully complete a ruck, and at the end of that ruck, we identify that you're a good match for us and we're a good match for you, then we move into this coaching phase. And what we have developed is a 6-month coaching and training program. This is an online program where there's tools, where there's templates, where there's PowerPoint decks, and we're able to talk through a lot of the content and the craft of coaching and management training. While you're in the coaching training program, part of what you're going to do is you're going to engage with your first client. We're going to help pair you with this initial client, and we will pay you at the training rate for the work that you're doing with the client. Once you've completed the content portion of your training as well as your first advisor engagement, you'll be evaluated on 3 different levels. Number 1, you'll be evaluated by our admin team. Our admin team is going to give you some feedback on your ease of communication, the timeliness of your submission of coaching notes, and your overall ease to work with. Secondly, we're going to ask the client, they get value out of your engagement. Where did they grow? What are some things that you could have done better? At the end of the day, the client is the person who determines whether you delivered value or not. And then finally, you'll be evaluated by your senior coach. During this process, you will have been paired with a senior coach who will be able to give you some feedback on how you did and whether you're a good culture fit for our team. At the end of all of that, your 30-day ruck. At the end of all of that, once you've gone through your 30-day ruck, once you've gone through your initial training program, your initial client engagement, and you've passed all 3 of the evaluations from the admin team, from the client, and from your senior coach, you will be certified as an advisor, at which point we will pair you with clients. We have a sales team that does all of the client identification and then pairs you to do the coaching and the training delivery. We also then have an admin team that will handle all of the administrative work associated with coaching and training engagements. What this really allows you to do is just to focus in on being excellent at being a coach. You don't have to focus on sales. You don't have to focus on all the calendaring and administration. You get to focus on being excellent in front of the client. And that's one of the things that we think is really important for our advisors. So once you've completed all of those pieces, congratulations, you graduate and you are a certified 4 Fires executive coach and lead management trainer. So the plan, that's the process for going through the entire advisor training program, how you become an advisor. So what does it look like once you become an advisor? What does a day in a life of the advisor look like?
So I would say maybe a typical getting ready for a couple of sessions, couple of appointments with clients. I always prep. I always try to spend somewhere between 30 minutes to 45. So I would look at the rest of the notes, highlight a few things, and basically write a few questions down based upon my highlights. This allows me to go into the session with maybe a little bit of an outline and a little bit of a guide that builds out the 4 Fire philosophy, that builds out the physical, the purpose fire, the people fire, the professional fire. It just kind of gives me some questions to ask about those things. So I'd say a day is prepping for the sessions, making sure I do my admin stuff, and then I love spending the evening before I go to bed, just learning new stuff that I think will be helpful to my clients.
Meeting with a person, I'll go through and kind of get their file, and that file will contain some basic information about them and some of their very basic goals of things that they think they can improve on. It also contains a DISC personality profile, and so we want to go through and kind of review that and be familiar with that. So I do some of that homework prep on the front end, and then be able to go and sit down with the other person. And a lot of that's just active listening and being able to hear about them and to hear about really kind of dig into those 4 fire areas of their life and be able to draw out information of where they're currently at and where they want to.
At the end of the day, part of the gift that we provide at LEAD is not just that we serve our clients very well. It's partially that we're filling a niche for advisors, that we are helping them grow in their professional fire and more effectively converting their craft into cash in a way that they were not otherwise able to prior to this coaching opportunity. Here's some examples of how that's played out for some of our advisors.
So it's been hugely helpful to have an area of life that you're passionate about, that you enjoy, that you're good at, but also that really does provide a bunch of financial flexibility. And working at Lead has just been this wonderful addition that is flexible, so it kind of works into the margins of our life, but really values your time and gives you a good return on the investment for the time that you put in. And so it's just been hugely wonderful to kind of add that to supplement some of the other areas that, I bring income into the family, and it's been a huge blessing.
The executive coaching and financial needs has to do with this being part-time right now for me, and so super thankful for an opportunity to be able to serve on a part-time basis. And then when it comes to the salary, it's super competitive for the market. So I've got 2 in college now and 1 more on the way in a couple years, and so this has been really helpful in terms of having a supplemental income for my family.
So is this you? Are you a person that people listen to? Do people respect you? Are you inquisitive? Are you a good question asker? Is there a piece about you that is always curious and wants to know a little bit more? Are you a person that is genuinely hopeful and has a sense of positivity about you, but at the same time doesn't have to sugarcoat everything and is able to be direct and ask hard questions because ultimately you care more about the person across the table winning than you being uncomfortable from asking a hard question? Ultimately, are you a people developer? Are you willing to do the work to make an impact in somebody's life? This is how you're wired. We have an opportunity and we'd like to have a conversation. Give us a call, shoot us an email, let us know, how did you hear about us? And we'll schedule a consultation and we'll schedule a call for us to talk further. Thanks, and live intentionally.